Alright, so this is simply me just reading the comment while my recorder still goes. To my video, Drug Addictions explains how to overcome them using magic. Some girl named Carolyn Coolin, which I don't know. I'm guessing it may be a fake women account. A lot of different women, Asians, sexual content, whatever, attached to this channel with not much video content. But anyways, she sent me a message saying, or a comment via YouTube, I need boyfriend. Which, kind of goes with potentially if she's not English speaking. And then my wife saw it. So my wife responded with, too bad for you, I'm married. And then I responded, which, I don't know why I feel the need to do that. Should just let it be. But that was my wife that wrote that. And she's right. I'm happily married. And if a relationship is what you want, then if you are into magic, you can use one or all of the various ways I teach to cast, write, speak a relationship into your life using symbolism to get the suggestion into your subconscious mind. Sigil magic comes to mind. A famous comic creator, Grant Morrison, has a video on YouTube explaining how he did sigil magic to get a girl after he broke up with his girlfriend. I'll put a link on here somewhere. And then I made another comment below with the YouTube link, and it says Grant Morrison link. Alright, so that is the comment. And I mean, if she's asking me to get very flattering. But that's because I had some rocky times in the recent future, present, whatever. Doesn't mean I'm willing to throw away 11 years, an 11-year relationship, and 6 years of marriage, due to, my wife almost meeting up with a guy, almost potentially leaving me and starting a new relationship with this guy when she hadn't had sex with the man, she hadn't even kissed the man. They had 2 play dates with the children, and then the day I grabbed her phone was the day she was waiting for him to message him back, because she asked and was willing to go see him, and he said, well, after I play Dungeons and Dragons with a bunch of dudes that are going to my house, if there's time, I'll call you. After telling her that, I would never ignore you like your husband ignores you. Yeah, real nice, right? And I mean, I'm not a good guy. I ignored her, which started this whole fiasco. And she tries to seek remedy through this guy. 2 play dates, he's there right away. But then this day, when she goes to meet up with him, this is what happens. And, maybe he already had those plans. And fair enough. Maybe he wouldn't have ignored her, but he had those plans, and he's being true to his plans. So, who knows? I'm not here to judge. Trust me, I did my own share, fair share of judging that motherfucker. But, nonetheless, just because of that, I'm not willing to trade a relationship. Now, once again, I've had people in the past come on here and put sex on underage girls or 18. These sites that aren't even real sites, but just hashtag or .coms, I guess, that are inappropriate. So people that probably don't like me or don't like what I'm saying or, trying to give me bad publicity, simply just blocked them or hide the notifications from them. And for a while, I stopped all the comments because of shit like that. So now I open back up the comments, and the first comment I get is, I need a boyfriend. So I don't know if this is serious or not, and I know my wife was kind of rude to her, but she knows I'm married, so I'm not gonna say what my wife did was or wasn't wrong. She's my wife. My job's to stick up for her regardless, take her for her flaws. I love that girl, that woman, more than anything in the world. So even if she's being unreasonable and someone tries to insult my wife, I got my wife's back regardless. So maybe it wasn't reasonable what she did, or maybe, but she simply wrote, too bad, I have a wife or something, whatever, I'm married. And that's absolutely true. So she's just spilling the truth. And if it's hard to take, well, it's hard to take. But okay, I don't know if this girl Because you're looking for that, and once again, flattering if that's the case. I need boyfriend, but I'm not boyfriend. I'm someone else's husband, so you're looking in the wrong pond. But if that's a comment, you say, hey, teach about how to get a boyfriend. Well, that I can fucking do. That I can fucking teach. That I can tell you how to do it. Now, first of all, I've never used magic to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend or love of any kind. I've used claimer spells recently to tie them on my wife, and I know I said I don't believe in that, but it was just a test to see if you can use claimer spells, if claimer spells will work. And they didn't work the same day, but then the next fucking day, the way my wife acted and the things she did, and every time I saw in the corner of her eye how she was just staring at me and all, I was like, man, it fucking worked. So I know a little bit about that shit. I can teach about that. I can teach about the glamour spells. I can teach about putting stuff in your subconscious mind, even though I've never did it to get a date. I never did it to get a girl. Once again, this Grant Morrison thing. Good thing to listen to. He teaches you how to do sigil magic, even though the thing he starts writing down is pretty ridiculous. But yeah, you can totally use sigil magic to get a date. Now, the main thing I would say, the most important thing is don't cast for a specific person, as hard as that may be. Because you're powerful and you can get that person that you want. But here's the thing. How often have you been right with picking a mate, picking a date, picking a boyfriend or girlfriend? Well, if you don't have one right now, clearly you haven't been successful because you pick them and they don't work out. You pick them and they don't work out. Therefore, you should never think that your mind knows that this person is great for you. For example, let's pretend this girl does think I'm great and she wants me as her boyfriend. Well, we would get together and I would do all the same dumb shit I've been doing with my wife. Probably worse because I wouldn't respect her because I haven't put in the 11 years that I have put in with my wife, and my wife earning and deserving respect. And those things alone stop me from doing certain things like doing drugs. Sometimes when things get tough, I respect her too much to fuck her over or lie to her. A new girl like this, I don't give two fucks and start doing that shit. So casting for me, see my persona on here and how I talk and whatever that I like to, you know, pleasure women and shit like that might be appealing to some girls. Like, fuck man, it's gotta be great. Even if he's not good in bed, he's gonna eat me out, make me come fucking 3 times and keep fucking me over and over again. That's what I want. I've been missing that. I never had a man do that or make me come like that. Great. You can cast for that. You can cast for a man that you get along with, that is opposite but the same as you, that knows how to pleasure you sexually, whether that be with his dick, his tongue, his fingers, doesn't matter. As long as you get some kind of pleasure, you'll be happy. But you can cast for what you want, and then once you stop thinking about it, this man will appear to you. And hopefully you're not in a pissed off mood or waiting around looking too hard for Mr. Right, and then the right guy is right in front of you and you don't even see it because you have this other image in your mind. So I'm going to talk about this a little more, but I got to go get my girls ready for school and help my beautiful, lovely, sexy wife right now. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about this in case this is what this person wants. Is how it's a simple question saying, how do you cast to get a boyfriend? Well, I'm going to teach you how to cast and put things in your subconscious mind to get a boyfriend or girlfriend. And the way I would do it if I was doing it. Once again, never done it, but I've had many successes getting something in the subconscious mind. So I'm going to treat this as any other suggestion getting in your subconscious mind. Once it's in the subconscious mind, you will line things up for you to get this mate that you casted for. Anyways, yeah. All right, what's going on, everybody? So, before I get to all my love spellies and shit, and just to be clear, I don't normally teach spells too much, but when I'm telling you how to say things, that is spellcraft, by the way. So every time you hear me say, I end my spells with, I will thee, harm-free, so mo to be, that is something you should use. I'll get that clear right now. So whether you're writing on a candle, whether it's a statement of intent, whether you're banished something and you're saying out loud what you accept, you should always end it, I will thee, putting the Mars energy into it. I will thee. Harm-free, that's up to you. You say harm-free to me and my family, harm-free to Corey LeBlanc, Saint LeBlanc, whoever else, shit like that. And another thing is important when you're especially doing spellcraft, if you are willing into existence, I will the sum of $3,000, so I will thee harm-free, so mo to be. You know, I say, I will thee poverty-free, to mode B, or the opposite of the 3 grand. So debt free, if you'd like. Meaning, see, if I didn't say that when I got all those credits recently, when I got the credit cards and then the loans recently with my wife and all that shit, I didn't say that. So if I would have said debt free, it wouldn't have came in the form of credit cards. Now it may have taken longer, because it's got to take the path of least resistance. We got it very fast because the path of least resistance was, they want money, we'll give them money. I never stated I wanted to not pay it back. So therefore, I got money, but I have to, if I use it, I got to pay it back. But it's like an advance, right? It's still money nonetheless. And it's a way to build our credit, because we're going to be refinancing our house shortly to get our interest rate down. And me being I'm almost at a 6. My credit's shittier than my wife's. My wife, after she had 2 bankruptcies, and she's at almost a 7. She's at like 6.85 or 6.8 something anyway. She's like a 6.8, which is what you need. Well, the financial institution we went to said 6.8 can get you interest rate of like 1%, and we're like, wow, that's amazing. I mean, if we got anywhere 5 or lower, is amazing compared to what our interest rate is right now. So we're gonna be doing that soon. So this credit card, we're gonna pay for our gas with it, and so I'm doing right now. And then when we get paid, we put it back on there. We're gonna continue to use it like that, and it's only small amounts, right? 200 and 500, very manageable amounts. Even if you use the whole 500, as long as you don't let it go, because like 25%. I mean, if you think about that, 25% of 500 is. Anyways, you can do the math on that, and that's how much I get, and that's annually. That'll get annually added on to my bill of the 500 that I borrowed all off of there. So, I guess the point I'm trying to say is, if you are willing into existence money, or you want to get rid of your debt, well, then you say debt free if you want, but I'll say harm free, because you don't want any harm free and debt free. Add the opposite. When you make your statement of intent, and this is spellcraft, and this is going to be important for what I'm about to talk about when you're looking for a mate, when you're trying to get a lover, when you're trying to get a partner. The opposite of what you are asking to come into existence exists. So you are creating something in the astral that you want to then filter down into your reality. So when you create that thing in the astral, well, the opposite can also be created. Plus, knowing the human mind and how our minds fucking work, generally speaking, we tend to think negatively easier than we think positively. Therefore, when you're doing your spell, when you're doing a ritual, sometimes in the mind, you might start thinking of, well, there's no way this is going to happen, or, oh yeah, knowing my luck, I'm going to, you might have that tendency. You're not the type who actively banishes their thoughts and haven't been getting used to banishing your thoughts to the point where those thoughts don't even come around anymore, then you might have the tendency of doing that. Therefore, you are more likely to create that thing in the astral, and also create its opposite in the astral. And each one of those can play out in your reality depending on what emotion you use and at the time, and what emotion you use more often as well. I mean, that's a big factor into this, is the emotion in play. But the reason I say I will thee is because you want to will this into your existence. You want to add that Mars energy, and if you're not actually doing action or anything like that, any words only get you so far, but still saying that you will this into your existence, those words have power, just like I am has power. That's how I start mine. I am grateful that I received $3,000. I will be debt, poverty free, harm free, so mote it be. Corey LeBlanc, magical name, and then my magical sigil. Now, you don't have to even put your magic, if you don't have a magical name, you don't need to, you just sign your name. If you don't have a magical sigil, once again, you don't need to, you can just sign, it don't matter. But I added those two things, so if I have a small candle, and it never works out that way, by the way, I always put all 3 on, but if it ever works out that I don't have enough room, all I have to do is do my magical sigil. My magical sigil is my name, my magical name, turned into a symbol, but I made all my letters turn into the 7 planets sigils. So Saturn being that little TH looking thing, Venus being the circle with a plus, Mars being, cock and balls. I turned all the letters from my name into the planetary sigils, and I turn all the planetary sigils into one symbol, and that's my magical sigil. So it's like signing my name by using a symbol, and I program that sigil also to anything I put that sigil on with whatever words that are attached with that. So my statement of intent, and then that mark, that's my stamp, that's my seal. That means this goes right into my subconscious mind. That's how I programmed it, and it seems to be working just fine. And to the point where when you see me doing this kind of shit in the air, kind of like, you know, when you're doing your pentagrams, when you're doing lesser banishing, well, that's not what I'm doing. I'm not making a pentagram, although I do plenty of that. But the reason you see me doing that is because even when I banish something, I banish the thought that I'm going to get that. I banish the thought of me receiving COVID-19, and I accept that me, my family, and everybody in my town will be free from COVID-19. I will be, I'm free, so more to be. So what did I do there? I denied the thing. So the thing I wanted was to be COVID-19 free. So I stated that. I also banished the possibility, the opposite of happening. So the opposite of happening, if you want to banish COVID-19, well, the opposite of happening is you getting COVID-19. So right in my statement of intent, I banished the one, I invoked the health via no COVID-19, okay? And then I also said harm-free. No one has to die for me to learn this lesson. No one's going to get harmed, so I don't have to get COVID. I don't know how that would play out, but nonetheless. So I even added that in there just so no one gets harmed by my spellcraft. And this is kind of what I mean. Anytime you banish something, you want to invoke something. Anytime you invoke something, you want to banish something. But same goes if you're trying to call money into your being, into your sphere, into your reality, then you also need to make sure you cut out the chance of the opposite thing coming into your reality as well. Because if you don't, then you risk problems, issues, troubles, that thing happening. And, you know, who wants that shit? I don't. I certainly don't. Fucking shit's everywhere. I have to go park. But, so, that's my little spiel on that. But, yeah, I'm going to re-listen to this and see why I fucking started talking about this. I don't even fucking technically even remember. But it is as it is. As they say. So, all that being said, sorry, loud truck. All that being fucking said, my God, man, what the fuck is this guy doing? I'm gonna follow this truck all the way through. I didn't mean a fucking prick. All right, so all that being said, sorry, there's OPP following this truck, and they're in the parking lot, still fucking following his ass. But anyways, I got onto that because I was talking about my spells. So the magic I'm going to teach about this is going to be simply magic to get things in your subconscious. But when we talk about casting spells, okay, people have this fucking thought in their mind that Hollywood is casting spells on people, that when they say these specific spells, shit goes against their fucking will and just forces them to do things. And it's not the fucking case, like, at all. But there are words that you can say, that you can use, that are powerful, that will change the way you do things, the way you think, that can change your programming, and or more specifically, the magic I'm going to be teaching you how to do to get a mate, and this works for anything. So I'll be talking specifically about, you know, casting for specific characteristics for a person, and how you can do things to forget about it all day after you cast it, you set it and forget it, and you have least resistance, all that shit. But the spellcraft part of it, the words we use specific words because these words have power. These words have symbolic meanings and representations behind them, right down to these letters of these words, okay? So like the word will, for example. Well, there is a meaning and a symbolic representation, basically. So every letter is a sigil, straight off, okay? So there's a great book, Familiar Spirits. I forget the book, but at the end of the book, there's this little appendix about what every single letter in the English language means and what it can be used for. So knowing this and knowing what magical words I've been using for a long time, I was able to put things together. Frederick Xavier, one of his programs I purchased, and I won't go into it because it's a paid program and it's not fair for me to just give out the information for free. But one of his paid programs, he expanded on all the letters and added to it. But so we have these words in the English language that these letters have symbolic meanings attached to them as well. And this means that certain words that you use make it easier to get things into your subconscious mind, versus other words really don't have a meaning. Also, what plays into that is words that have been around a lot longer, like the word will. When you say I will something into being, or when you say I am. Well, if the Bible actually has been around for 2,000 years, well, the words I am have been in there for 2,000 years. Meaning people have been using I am for 2,000 years. So versus newer words that haven't been around that long, that you try to use won't work as well because there's not as much symbolism and meaning put in it.